Hi everyone and welcome to episode 215 of the Mighty Whites podcast. I'm Jack, as always joined by Casey.
Hello.
This will be a short one because we talked all about Big Sam and everything in the last one, which was a much longer one, and I'd suggest giving that a listen as well as everyone else's because no one can quite believe what has happened. This one will be just talking about Man City, and I don't even know why we're bothering to preview it because we all know what's going to happen. It's not going to be good, but here we are anyway. How's things, mate?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a new theory now on our impending relegation. We're absolutely beating Man City and still going down.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely hilarious.
There is one thing we have managed to sort of pull the neutrals back. You know, the neutrals quite liked us when we had Bielsa. We're getting it back now because I've seen so many people going, I'm going to need for Leeds United to do the funniest thing that could possibly happen in their first game under Sam Allardyce. There's only one bit of news that we didn't know at the time because we knew Allardyce and we knew Carl Robinson. Robbie Keane getting his dream move to his boyhood club of Leeds United.
Yes, he is a legend of the club. Knows he is Leeds United through and through, I believe.
Yeah,
I did see with all the career moves.
Yeah, I mean, I know he said that everywhere. I do actually think that I saw something on Twitter. I don't know how right it was, but apparently we did have him briefly on trial as a kid. But you know, we had everyone at one point, didn't we? And as for results that affect Leeds in midweek, none really. But Man City beat West Ham 3-0. So I think West Ham are still like technically in it, even though I think they'll be fine. So we'll just go straight into the game, really, because it's going to be a difficult one because we've no idea what Allardyce is going to pick.
I mean, one of the things that has come out is that he has said that Willy Gnonto has a part to play in his team. And I assume he is the creative one.
He is Stelios Giannakopoulos.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not JJ Okocha, like he's not. we don't have one of them.
No, unfortunately, Pablo Hernandez is no longer. I was about to say no longer with us. I just mean in Spain. But yeah, just everyone in a rigid, fixed role, and Willy Gnonto just wandering.
So we'll talk about Man City a bit first because they're really absolutely brilliant. They have a thing that I've noticed recently is every other team, when you see their lineup written down on paper, they write it up in their out of position shape. Because they are 4 at the back out of possession. But because Man City have like 70% of the ball in every game, they have taken to writing it down in possession.
Is it 2 centre-backs and Rodri in front of them?
Well, no, they have adapted this year. It is now 3. Because what it will be is whoever plays left back, normally this season it's Ake, Walker right back. They tuck in alongside Diaz and Stones goes into middle of midfield. John Stones, who this season, by the way, has been so good, it is utterly ridiculous. Like, it's gone a bit underreported just how amazing he's been. But they'll be about in midfield. Basically, their midfield, they will then have Rodri and Stones. And then in front of that, there'll be a line of 4. And then Haaland. It's usually Grealish left. One of Mahrez or Bernardo Silva on the right, but Bernardo Silva might also play in the middle. And like Gundogan, De Bruyne, Alvarez as like the 2 attacking centre mids, and then Haaland up top. You would think they've got like Real Madrid straight after us.
Yeah, so that will be.
I am expecting them to rotate.
I was going to say that would have been 4 games in 10 or 11 days for them.
Yeah,
I mean, of which Calvin Phillips has barely played a minute. Bless him.
No, I don't know if it was just rotation or injury, but Ederson didn't play last night. That Ortega was in goal, but I don't think it matters. Like maybe they'll play Cole Palmer, Rico Lewis.
Yeah, very good Rico Lewis, or again ahead of Calvin Phillips in the pecking order here.
Yeah, he was really good at Ellen Road, wasn't he? I think that Pep is going to play Phillips in this game, and it's still going to be Stones and Rodri in midfield, and Calvin Phillips is going to play centre back.
Yeah,
I think they're just going to start taking the piss, like just playing people wherever. They will just be
Erling's
camped
playing
on
at right. Erling's playing at right back. He still only takes 17 touches in the game and scores twice.
Yeah, I suppose the question is, like, it almost doesn't matter who they play. Their squad is just brilliant. They're unbelievably well coached. Everyone knows exactly what role they're playing, what they're doing. They are gonna, if they're shit, they'll still be quite good. Like against West Ham last night, they weren't particularly great. West Ham played really well in the first half, and were all right in the second, and it was still 3-0.
Yeah.
So, like, I just have no hope. I suppose the decision is, how are Leeds going to play it? Is it going to be like a 4-4-2, sit deep, leave two people up the pitch and try and counter? Or is it going to be like a 5-4, leave one player up the pitch and don't even really try and counter?
I was thinking it's probably a 5-4-1 with... I assume with this being, especially playing so defensively, it'll be Bamford up front on his own.
Yeah, Allardyce did pick out Bamford in his press conference.
Of course he did. And when you look at the other options of, Rodrigo, not the sort of player you could really play up front as a lone striker when there's not going to be any support there. And, obviously we don't have any other strikers at all.
No. As Alex Bennison has said in the comments here, Robbie Keane is more likely to play than Rutter.
Yep. Bless that man. Yeah, I sort of fancied this as a 5-4-1. And honestly, I think it might be Pascal Struijk at left back.
I was...
To have another big body in there.
I was trying to figure out what I'd do, and the truth is, I don't think it matters. Like, I had a few teams... I have a feeling that Pascal Struijk might play in midfield. I think it might be like McKennie and Struijk.
Oh, God, why does it have to be McKennie?
Because he's better physically than Mark Rocker. And I think that's what it's going to come down. Like, well, we'll go through it from the back. First of all, and this is definitely a question, who do you think will be in goal?
I think it's probably Meslier, with it being Allardyce's first game. I can't believe I had to say this is Allardyce's first game.
I put a thing on our Twitter earlier, and I meant it. I was just sat at my desk working. I'd been working about an hour, and I just suddenly remembered that Sam Allardyce was Leeds manager. And it knocked me off my game. I had to take a minute.
I don't know how to feel.
He keeps us up, and I'm going to be a full-on stan.
I think it might be Meslier. I suppose this week it might purely be a case of who has trained the best.
Yeah, I mean, Allardyce didn't pull any punches with the press conference. Like, they asked him about Meslier or Robles, and he said, well, Meslier hasn't been very good. So we'll see. Which I don't mind, because it's, to say anything else would be denying reality, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think he's going to go for Robles. I think he's going to go for the more experienced head, and it's just a feeling more than out. Then it's a matter of trying to figure out what formation it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be 5-4. I think it's going to be a 4-5-1, but just as defensive. Like, I'm going to say probably Ayling right back. A lot depends on if Cooper's fit. Because if Cooper's fit, then I think it's Ayling right back, Koch and Cooper, Verber at left back, and Struijk at DM in front of the two.
Yeah.
If Cooper isn't fit, then Verber has to play centre back or Struijk. And call me someone who is stereotyping a little bit, but something tells me Sam Allardyce ain't going to fancy Firpo. Just a fullback that can't tackle doesn't strike me as a Sam Allardyce player.
No, but what I think I'm really hoping for is that Sam Allardyce is going to look at his right back options, and is Scott Gardner still the under-18s manager?
Believe so, yeah.
He's going to phone Scott Gardner. He's going to go, I need a right back. Just give me a best one. A la Sam Byram.
Yeah.
And this lad's going to be brilliant. And I don't know who it is.
I'd love to say, well, we'll look at the 21s, but the right back currently in the 21s is Morton Spencer, who's a centre mid.
That's kind of dashed that plan, hasn't it?
Yeah. And for what it's worth, the left back is Jeremiah Mullin, who's a centre back.
Yeah. We might have to scrap that plan then.
Yeah.
But yeah, like again, having watched that, having watched the Bournemouth game and most of the season, to be fair, I could happily do with not having either Christensen or Ayling in the team, but I suppose one of them has to play.
Yeah. Because we're not allowed Cody Drama. Yeah, so I think if it's Cooper, then Verba plays left back, and I think he sticks Struijk into midfield, or Struijk plays left back and sticks Verba into midfield. It's sort of, it doesn't really matter which way around it is. Then, like, if the holding mid directly in front of the back four, so maybe the other two being. I mean, if he does it that way, will it be just McKennie and Rocker still, or do you think he might go like McKennie, JB?
Oh, he might like Darko JB. He's a big lad.
I mean, to be honest, I'd back him to players out of trouble better than McKennie and Rocker at the minute. Rocker can play the pass, but there's going to be no one to give it to, so you need to be able to dribble and be press resistant. And I think JB's probably slightly better at that.
Yeah. What a way to find out against his former club, who have won 9 straight Premier League games.
Yeah. Then maybe Harrison on the left as basically a second left back.
I think it's probably Nonto left, Harrison right for me.
Normally, I would say yeah, but because they're going to be so defensive, I think that there might be the other way around for this. And Nonto will be the winger who is allowed to join Bamford up front. You could also, I wouldn't mind if we just sat in like 2 deep banks of 4 and you just stuck Nonto and Bamford up front.
Just hope they can feed off something.
Yeah, and because I don't think it all I care about is if we're better. If we come out of this and we've got beat 3-0, but you're looking at it at the end going, we've defended all right there.
This was so much more organised.
It'll give me hope for the other ones. Yeah, I there have been very few games where I've had less hope.
So I told you, we're winning this.
I mean,
we're still going down, but we win this.
I mean, De Bruyne has had a knock, so they're not going to risk him in this game because why would you bother? So that's a nice thing, I suppose.
It's all right. Phil Foden comes in.
He might ask Erling Haaland if he fancies a rest, but I think he might tell him to fuck off. I'm already record holder. I'm trying to beat Dixie Dean here. I might get 9 today.
I don't know how we win this game.
We don't.
No, we do. It's all come together, Jack. Listen, we're going down, but we're going to have one last glorious moment of potentially ruining someone's season, as well as our own.
By the way, just to say, there is an enhanced price where it's been bumped up on Erling Haaland to score a hat-trick. Do you know what it is having been enhanced?
Go on.
11-2. That's for Erling Haaland to score a hat-trick. Just to put that in perspective, Leeds are 16-1 to win. if you run them up for a special, Erling Haaland to score 4 goals will be a smaller price than Leeds winning.
It's really going to shock everyone when Harrison gives us that 1-0 win.
Yeah, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I am actually absolutely amazed that Man City -2 is odds against. It's 11-10. That seems big. So yeah, do you think that there's any weird surprises that Allardyce might spring in terms of our selection?
I think probably JB's about the biggest one you could pull coming in, sort of out of nowhere. Certainly, this doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like the sort of game where you're going to bring Greenwood in. Outside of set pieces, but I think for him to come into the team, that's when you play in a central 3 to make that work. Like I said, I could well see Strauch and Verber, I suppose, would be sort of interchangeable in who plays left back, who plays
it wouldn't really matter which way around.
And I suppose with Strauch's lack of confidence, it sort of gets him out of central areas, which might not be the worst idea.
We have had a suggestion in the comments that the surprise is Stuart Dallas. Reckon he gets a game before the end of the season? No, I do not.
Did we ever get how long Tyler Adams was out for?
The season.
Like, was it the season?
It was. Oh, we'll see if he's back before the end of the season, but he's not back before the end of the season.
Well.
The rumor before it even officially came out he was injured was that he'd done his hamstring and he was out for the season.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice thought. Maybe Berardi and Hernandez come back for this one. Just get him in. I don't know. Say Janssen, but he's fucked. Just bring them all back. That'd be nice. But no, I think for me it'd be a surprise if Rodrigo started and it wasn't part of a front 2.
Yeah.
Like I can't see it happening.
I am sure that they don't normally price up a team to score 10 goals, but they have for this game. It's 200 to 1, admittedly. Yeah, I have no hope at all, really, here. And there's not even anything interesting bet-wise because all the things that you think are going to happen are incredibly short.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Star player specials on Erling Haaland. Let's see what's 250 to 1. Erling Haaland scored 2 or more goals from outside the box. Fair play. That man does not score goals from outside the box.
The only way that happens is if he's clean through when his keeper rushes out, so he scores his 1-on-1 from 20 yards. But I'll be surprised if our defensive line is higher than 20 yards at any point in the entire game. Like, Allardyce doesn't actually play with as low a line as people think he does.
Yeah.
But I think he will do on Saturday. Like, I don't think there's any way around it.
Ooh, I've got my bet there anyway on Erling Haaland.
Cool. I have had a glance, but I'm really not sure I'm going to go for it. I know that it's not going to be good. That's all I know. We are keeping this one very short because I've actually had to take a break from work to do this, and I've got to go back and KC has stuff on tonight as well. So we will get straight into your prediction, KC. What do you think?
Well, we're winning 1-0.
Cool. I'll tell you what. I'll give you 5 points for just us winning, even though it's meant to be 2. And if you get the correct score, it's meant to be 5. I'll give you 15. Why not? I am going to say that Leeds are creditable early on and battle much better than you think they're going to before falling eventually to a 4-0 defeat. A
commendable 4-0 defeat.
Before we changed manager, I was going to bet on like over 3.5 goals in the first half, and I still might. Like I think where was there was a bet I saw earlier that I can't believe how big it is. I think it was Man City to win both halves.
Hmm.
What if I can find it? Yeah, Man City to win both halves is 11-10. And like I know that they might ease off in the second half because they're already 4-0 up, and maybe you get a 0-0 draw in the second half. But I can't see that somehow.
I've got here Erling Haaland have one or more shots on target in each half and assist one or more goals in each half, and that is 40-1.
One or more shot on target and an assist in each half.
Yeah.
He doesn't get loads of assists, but he does get a few. And it might be that we've got 4 men round him, so whenever he lays it off, everyone else has space.
Yeah, I mean, he does like Phil Foden as well, so be trying to get him in and boost his goal bonus.
Cool. Well, this may well just end up void. But I'm just going to... But my betting record's so bad this year that I need something miraculous to pull me back. So I am going to have Gundogan, Rocker, McKennie and Koch all to be carded, which is 400-1. Because why the hell not?
Yeah.
And I think Gundogan will play because he didn't play on Wednesday and De Bruyne's out.
Good player.
Yeah. They're all good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Like, if I look at, like, Man City's squad here and, like, who, like, almost never plays or isn't called Calvin Phillips? Like, I mean, he's been out all season. I'd forgotten about Aymeric Laporte. Sergio Gomez, the left back. That's the one that was at Anderlecht that I really liked what I saw of him, that a lot of people really fancied. He's made 8 sub appearances.
He's scoring twice.
Walks into our team. Like it's just such a ridiculous squad. And the thing is that we've even seen their 21s. So if he just decides to throw 3 of them in, they'll be really good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of the good ones are now at Sheffield United.
Yeah. And I suppose the other thing that we should just briefly mention before we go, this game's Saturday 3 o'clock and it's on telly.
Leeds United, pioneers of the game.
Well, is it because it's the last day of the championship season, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like all the League One games are at 12. And I'm guessing all the championship games are like late or something. I don't even know when they are.
Did you read any of Javi Gracia's parting statement?
Yeah, I did. He came off quite well.
Yeah.
It's a shame for him, but I do think that we were on about it on the last podcast. I think if they didn't sack him, we were down. And I think if they did sack him, we're probably down anyway. I think it's about the same amount of chance. Most people seem to think we have a slightly better chance now. And there is one thing that I will give that I can definitely say, listening to Allardyce's press conference. He is a much more inspiring listen than Javi Gracia is.
He is not a man that lacks confidence in himself, is he?
No.
And that's not to say that Gracia didn't, but that's not the aura you got from him.
No. Like, I quite liked I am the equal of Pep. Because it's not about whether it's true or not. The press have been talking, and all the fans, everyone, about how shit all our players are. And now they're talking about this thing that the coach said.
Yeah.
And, it's quite nice to have a little bit of that. A bit of a... I mean, he's good at stuff like that. He knows what he's doing. I just don't think it's going to work.
It'd be I know it's a big what if. I suppose the question is, if we'd have done this 4 games ago, do you think we'd have stayed up? which also would have been a very harsh time to do it if in Gratia's run, you sack him straight after the Palace game. Which I suppose if something has happened in that, then maybe it would have made sense to get rid of him there and then. But ultimately, it was one bad result in and amongst a group of games where he'd done pretty much as was needed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right in his statement. They picked up 11 points and got us from 19th to 17th.
Yeah. Like, that's fair. If Leeds go down, which they, are statistically likely to do, no one's going to get to the end of the season and go, "Oh, that fucking Gracia." That's not where it's going to be. There'll be a little bit of that fucking Marsh, but most of it'll be that fucking board.
No, I tell you what. Since you introduced me to the LUFC data website and you can search the transfers by Victor Orta, it's very funny when you look at the stark transfer window that was the second Premier League season. When you go, no, we'd literally signed 2 first-team players.
Yeah.
Like, Jack Harrison is not included in that. He was there for years. Like, it was Firpo and James.
Yeah. And that's just never going to be enough, is it?
No.
Even if like the Firpo transfer had worked out,
we still desperately needed a striker. We still desperately needed a centre mid.
Yeah.
Well, not to trade old ground because we already did that, but it's just this idea: if we had these players leaving, that even though they were backup players, we still didn't really replace them.
Yeah.
But it's all right once Big Sam molds this team into his vision and leads us back to promotion.
God, could you imagine the reaction if Leeds go down and then we kept Allardyce?
It could, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if large parts of it were at this point apathy. If you do it straight after the season is over, it's like, fuck it, he's already here. He's already put his desk down and everything. Like, just there's no point, is there?
Yeah. So yeah, this I'll just briefly check one thing. So the other ones affecting us this weekend, they're out of it. That's us. They're out of it. There's nothing on the Saturday, really.
So I was just waiting for you to go, looking at this. Yeah, we're down.
Yeah, we are. West Ham are playing scum. West Ham are still sort of in it.
See, and when we beat Man City and they lose, we're a point behind them then.
Yeah, and then suddenly there's all the pressure. But the games really that affect Leeds are on Monday. I was looking at that going, why is it Monday 3:00? Because all championship games are Monday as well. But it's because someone's getting a new hat or something.
Well, they've got a carriage with air conditioning, haven't they? Yeah. Wish my carriage had air conditioning.
Yeah, I wish I had significantly less carriage. But yeah, on Monday, Fulham v Leicester, Brighton v Everton, Forest v Southampton.
Ooh.
That's because we're going to get beat. Monday is way more important than Saturday.
Could really do with, I suppose there you want a Southampton draw, really, don't you? Or,
at this point, obviously Fulham win and Brighton win, but Forest are level with us on points and Southampton are 6 behind. I would normally, you don't want anyone below you winning, but I'd take a Southampton win. I think the result there is you just don't want the Forest win.
Yeah.
Either of the other two is fine, but probably preferable is a Southampton win.
Forest are at home, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening, is it?
No. If Brighton could be proper Brighton and like destroy Everton, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will do us for episode 215. This really short one that we'll keep in massively short and making sure we didn't go long, and it's still gone half an hour. So yeah, that will do us. I have been Jack. See you.
I'm Casey. Have a good one.
Hopefully we can count the number of goals on